Have you ever wondered what the worst game ever would look like? Today I'm going to answer this question and create the most terrible game ever made. So sit back, relax, and get ready to witness a game development process like no other. To start things off, I've decided that the game will be a platformer. Yes, that's right, the most overused genre in the history of video games. But let's not stop there. I'm determined to make sure this game is truly terrible. So, I began by creating the player character. I wanted to keep things simple, so I made sure the character could only move left and right, and jump. But that's not all. To make things as frustrating as possible, I used the "is action just pressed" function. This means that players can't simply hold down a button to move. They have to keep pressing it over and over again. Believe me, players will quickly tire out their fingers and become frustrated with the clunky controls. Do you think I finished? Of course not. I made that the FPS would randomly change at any time. That was easy done by target FPS property at engine singleton. I also made that the game may suddenly crash for no reason. But to make the game even worse, I made a really horrible art for the game, or whatever you call this. After all, the worst game ever needs the worst art ever. I also made a blinking background that would change its color between black and white. The worst game ever also needs the worst music ever. So I got to work on creating a soundtrack that would make players want to rip their ears out. It wasn't that much work. I just made some random sounds and applied filters on them. The result is a soundtrack that is as unpleasant to listen to as the game is to play. Here's a clip from the song of the game. Warning. It's not for the faint of heart. Then I worked on the level design. I made only one level, and made sure that it's impossible to win, by adding tiles without collisions, impossible jumps, and no end. But that's not all. When I tested the game, I realized just how bad it was. So, I decided to add a main menu to the game. To keep with the theme of terribleness, I made a bad logo for the game and added it to the main menu. The main menu is simply a screen with two buttons: play and quit. And of course, both of them start the game. But to make things even worse, I added a fake loading screen that takes a whole minute to load. And after it finally loads, there's a 50% chance that the game will start and a 50% chance that it will crash. It's the perfect way to ensure that players will never want to play this game again. And that's it, the worst game ever made. If you want to play the game by yourself, check the link in the description below. And if you want to make your game feel good to play, unlike this horrible game, consider watching this video right here. See you there.